Well, here we are. What kind of mess did I get into this time? I don't know. Here is a 2004 Subaru WRX Wagon. It's been abandoned since 2019. There was a suspected head gasket issue, so it was taken off the road immediately. And, COVID happened, various things happened. So it's been sitting abandoned since 2019. That's a while. We're going to dig into this. We're going to get it running again. It's going to take a while because you know how it goes around here. So join me. This is my buddy's 2004 Subaru WRX Wagon. He's the original owner of it. I don't remember how many miles that are on it. I think there's 3 engines. I think this is the 3rd engine. I'm going to get him in a video in this series, and he's going to take us through all the mods he did, all the history of it, because you can tell there's a bunch of love taps everywhere. There, over there. So there's a story for everyone, and we're going to hear them. Maybe not everyone, but we're gonna hear the history of the Panda. Maybe that's what it was called. I forget. But this is going to be an excellent platform to learn how to fix things. Really, I've always wanted to learn how to paint. This is going to be an excellent thing to learn how to do body work on. There's rust. I want to learn how to do rust repair. This is going to be excellent because there's nothing to lose. It's been sitting abandoned for a long time. So we're going to slowly work on this piece by piece and get this up to running shape again. Some special things about this. So while this is a 2004 WRX wagon, from the B pillar, which is right here, forward, it is a 2006 WRX. Engine, harness, everything from here forward. So it has the speed of a 2006 WRX with its, I believe, 2.5 liter engine versus the 2.0 liter engine of the 04, that range. It's been a minute. This should be a fun, really fast car, a lot of torque. So first things first, we're just going to do a little bit of a walk around on it, basic walk around. I'm not going to go too crazy. He'll take us into the details of that, but we'll just check it out. Coming to the side of this, you can tell it's been sitting for a while. It just has a bunch of gunk and nasty all over it, tree sap, some dents up here, a couple dents there. Don't see any quarter. Oh, there's a little bit of rust right here. That might just be surface rust, but no quarter panel rust on this side. Tree sap. Tuning by Agile Auto. They did a lot of the work on this thing, so it's going to be a pretty awesome car. Tires definitely need to be replaced. They don't feel like rubber anymore. They feel like plastic. Brakes, I think the Titanic looks better than those. Oh boy. All right, onto the back. So other than the usual grime all over it and a lot of tree sap, rear looks in pretty decent condition. I mean, it's got to be repainted, but what are you going to do? Exhaust still there. Is it open? Nope, locked. There's some rust right here and rust right here. Doesn't look like it's too bad. Might just be surface rust. We'll hope for the best there. And of course, we'll get this in the garage. We'll take it apart. It'll be detailed at that point. But just an overview of what to expect. Oof. Something was living there. The fun side. So, very advanced quarter panel rust here. Maybe not so advanced. It's really just right here. Feels pretty solid outside of this area. So, and of course, brakes and tires, same thing over here. Tree sap over everything, just dirt all over the side. It's still dents. Wonder why there's so many dents in the fenders, but not anywhere else. Otherwise, pretty straight. That's the only major area of rust other than the trunk lid. Now, as you've probably seen in videos, this has been sitting in my yard for probably 2-ish years now. So I'm no stranger to the inside and having to push it and get it all over the place. Inside doesn't smell like mice. It actually smells really clean in here. Like if I had sat in here and didn't see the outside, I wouldn't think it's been abandoned at all. Yeah, it's actually quite nice in here. Now the shift linkage and all the bushings in there, those are all replaced. This is a very, very tight shifter, so there's definitely no problems there. It's got about a quarter tank of gas or a quarter tank of slime. Can only imagine how bad that's going to be. I should probably pull that out, siphon that out of there. I don't want to deal with that. We'll see. Looks like it has an updated radio in here. Car cover that obviously was never used. Oh, there we go. Free glasses. Absolutely. That's worth it. That's worth the price of the car. And use these right now. We'll get the original owner here. He'll tell us all about the inside, what he's done to it. Because again, from this B pillar, A, B, C, B pillar forward is a 2006 WRX. So including the HVAC controls, everything up here, gauges and all that have all been changed to a, maybe not the gauges, that might be original, but all the wiring is a 2006 WRX. So next step, let's get the engine bay opened up and my goal is to get this out of this spot. I got the battery from my 2000 Impreza over there. I'm gonna throw it in there, see what happens. Does it catch fire? Okay. If it catches fire, we'll put that out. Does it catch fire? And then I want to check the oil, make sure there's not a whole lot of, because it had a reported head gasket issue. So we want to check the oil, check the coolant, just make sure there's nothing too terrible. I at least want to get it fired up and moved into the garage. Then I can get it up on the quick jacks. We can take the wheels off. We can really start diagnosing and cleaning things up, put new brakes on it, clean out the fuel system a little bit better. But first, got to see if it even turns over. This has been sitting a long time, and you know how Subarus are. You know how Subarus are when they run. Let's not even get into how they act when they've been sitting for 7 years. All right. Let's see what we got. Well, that's totally safe. Yeah, that'll hold. Yeah. Belts are tight, but they look a little tired. Battery. That battery's gonna be, I'll probably break these clamps off when I get in here. Otherwise, it's not too terrible. Just dirty. Hoses need to be replaced. Maybe get some dress-up bolts, clean it up a bit, or just regular bolts, replace them all. Clean out all the junk. STI intercooler. Looks like a bigger turbo. Can't really tell. Let's check out the old coolant and see what we got in here. Heh. Bone dry. Not a drop. Let's check out the oil. Unless... I don't know if you can see. It's oil. It's not nasty. It's not doesn't seem to be mixed with the coolant, so maybe that's a good sign. All right, I'm gonna get some random coolant I have, and that's a tight one there. Get some random coolant from the garage. We're gonna fill this up a little bit, get a little bit in it, see what happens, see where it goes. At least so it has something in it. Probably should get gas and not just try and send the old gas through, but you know how we do it here. The lazy way. All right, only the highest quality coolant we could find. No. Random stuff off the shelf. I'm gonna flush this out anyways. I just want to get something in there because it's gonna leak all over the place. It says it's for Subaru. It's also I think I got it for a Nissan Titan? No. Whatever that Nissan's called that I was working on. All right, let's put a little bit of coolant down there and see where it goes. Oh yeah, that's going to make it easy to tell where it goes. There we go. Nice mess. So we put about 2 cups in. Of course, we'll turn her over and see what happens later. But see where that goes. Huh, look at that battery. Check this out. So you can see my little mess I made here. It's a little rusty, a little corroded, but we can get that cleaned up. Of course, probably replace all of these lines. The ones that look really old, just from, Vanagon experience I've had. If it's rubber and it's been sitting, might as well replace it. But check out this battery terminal. Wow, the thing's growing on this. All right, let's get a wrench. We can get these things off. Let's take the bet if I snap these off or not. Oh, negative went. All good. Oh, negative's off. Uh-oh. There we go. All right. Not that this battery has any life in it. Look at all that corrosion. Who has a can of Coke? Oh, we are. Oh, yeah, that snapped. You took the bet. You won. Jeez. That is something else there. We'll have to start a little counter at the bottom of the screen. How many bolts do we break overall on this, right? So far we're at 1. One of the main reasons I want to get this working is so it gets off the grass. The grass under it has grown so much. It's all up under it now, and spring's about to be here, despite it being about 29 degrees today. Do they sell this in pressure washer form? I wonder. You just like to coat the entire car. See, I get carried away with this thing. Like any bolt I might someday take out, let's just get it nice and soaked. All right, we're back once again. Got a 10 deep socket. Sprayed this thing down. Yeah, we are so ready for bolt number 2 to snap. I can feel it. And bolt number 2. I'm not going to give you all the satisfaction of bolt number 3. I'm just going to get this thing out the way. Oh, 9/2011. Bunch of wires down here, all sorts of zip tied off and in bags. Oh boy. I don't know what's worse. Terminal or my cleaner? There is not much metal left to this positive terminal. But again, just trying to get this thing from here into there. It's still 25 degrees out here. I don't want to be out here. Ground's still frozen. All right, got the old battery from the Impreza. If it fits, it fits. That, gonna use the old, let's get some flammable stuff out of here. Let's check for fires. So far, so good. All right, let's see if it has power on the inside. See what the gauges tell us. Oh, door light's on, security's on. 133,559. Turn that off. Holy crap. It started right up. Wow. 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 First time in 7 years on the same gas. And it started right up. Wow. All right, let's not waste any time. Let's get this thing into the garage. All right, inside the car. Got brakes. She's moving. She's moving. Ooh, no brakes, no brakes. Did I leave a trail of gasoline? No. Wow. Wow. I don't know what it is about Subarus. Every time I park a Subaru on the grass grows amazing under it. I should just start moving my Subarus around the yard. Look at that. That's going to be a perfect spot of grass. I'll show you later in the spring. Watch that be amazing. Every time. I am absolutely amazed. Did not think it would just turn key and fire right up again. I'm still at a loss for words. I thought that gas would have been so bad. And I thought there'd be a lot of other issues. But we got it in the garage, so now at least it's up on the jack stands. You know, coolant's gone again. Where's it going? I don't know. So I got this from Amazon a while ago. It's a Headgasket professional tool, no spill funnel kit. So you can use that to make sure that it has a steady supply of coolant. And this is also what I'm going to use to test to see, you know, are the head gaskets bad? We use this to find out. You stick this on top of the reservoir, and then you can just keep it filled. And then if you see it start bubbling out, then you know there's your sign. But so that'll stick in right there once I get the right attachment going. You know I don't read directions. So the threaded end will always go up into that. Got it. See? Reading the directions. Doing the right thing for once. No spill funnel system. This is how you make a total mess. Let's see what happens. So you can fill it up there, and then you turn it on, and it spills everywhere. Because I need to use this one with the not so great seal. I'm not putting any of this in the video anyways. Moral of this story is, you buy China stuff, you're gonna have to modify it a little bit. So I got this Chinese, now assuming, coolant reservoir thing on top of there. I had to mix a couple of the gaskets and bend the little metal cap a little bit, but it works now. It's not leaking out of the cap. So now we can monitor the coolant level. We can see if it bubbles up when we eventually get it full again. Maybe it's just leaking. You never know. Now I'm going to change the oil and see, is there any coolant in the oil? Is it just oil? So I'm going to clean out my my reservoir over here so I can capture the oil that comes out of it, and we can take a look at it. I'll put it in a jar. Let me find a jar. All right, I found a glass jar, cleaned it out with some brake cleaner, dried it up. I'm going to change the oil in this. I'm going to grab the first bit. If it doesn't just come out as pure gasoline or pure coolant, whatnot. If it comes out like that, obviously. But if it doesn't, I'm going to grab a little bit of this, and then I'll order a Blackstone kit. We'll send it off, and in a week or two, we'll get the results back, and I'll show you what the breakdown is. Try it out. It'd be nice if it had a Fumoto valve on it. Let's see. That just makes life easier. Nope, no Fumoto valve. If you ever see carpet squares for sale for cheap, like a company getting rid of them, grab them. Perfect for laying on under a car. All right, first look at under the Subaru. You know, it's not as rusty and nasty as one would think. There's a wire not connected there. All right, we're going to do this without making a mess, okay? Because, of course, we're not wearing gloves. Just like that. All right. And it's all over the place. That's black oil. See there? Pretty black. I'm not seeing any coolant in it. Got a sample. I'm going to order the Blackstone kit probably as soon as I get out from under here. Get that over here. All right, we'll let this drain and regret not wearing gloves. All right, we back. So that's finishing its draining. I have another oil filter from my Impreza. They basically all use the same thing. I'll put a Fumoto valve on it when the time comes, but again, this is just, there we go. This is just to collect the sample, see if there was coolant present, and at least make sure we're running with fresh stuff. I've tried a lot of different oil filter removers. This has got to be the best. I tried the ones with the chains around them, and you kind of chain it around it, and that it always slips. This, you just grab it, you crush the complete crap out of it, and magic happens. Come on, start dripping. All right, let's try and get this surface cleaned up a bit. Nice and clean. There we go. Nice and clean. Go. That all cleaned up. Looks like we made a complete mess on the floor. Nothing new there. Oil drained. Sample taken. Now we're just going to give it some fresh oil, and then I got some things to do. So we're going to pause there because I don't have a lick of 5W30, 5W40. All I have is 0W20 everywhere I look, which is really strange. But I sold the STI, got rid of the truck. I haven't had an oil change on that yet. So, all right, I'm going to run to the store. Going to get some new oil for this thing. That's really all I need so far. So I'll be back in a few. Several hours later, and some Korean barbecue later. Oh, jeez. Got some oil, just some 5W40 from the store. Advance Auto is running a sale. You buy a Mobil 1 thing of oil, the oil filter, and then you, for like, I don't know, you get the oil pan, like an oil catch pan, and a funnel for free. So that was pretty cool. All right, let's give it some brand new oil and see what happens here. I'm also gonna sit here and I see it glugging every once in a while, but nothing's dripping yet. Next up, just gonna turn it on. I'm not gonna get it fully up to temperature. I'm gonna get it, I'd say I'm gonna run it for like a minute or two. Just start getting the head gaskets warmed up again, get the engine and all the seals warmed up again. Remember, this has been sitting 7 years, so I don't want it to just go from immediately cold to fired right up right away. So we're gonna just turn it on, let it run for a little bit, then let it cool down from here. All right, fuel pump primed. Oh, I should have put that top on. All right, so far so good. She's just drinking up this coolant. Let's check out behind. Let's see what's going on back here. There's a little bit of smoke coming out, but not a whole lot. I would say pretty standard for a cold car. I don't think the thermostat is opened yet, but it looks really rocky. Again, it probably does have a head gasket problem. We just want to confirm it. Because obviously I wasn't there when the issue first happened. It's been sitting a while. I want to confirm. Lots of bubbles coming consistently through this coolant system. Confirm head gasket, and then we'll get it fixed from there. But right now we're just getting her going again. This is probably good enough. Gonna let it turn off and cool back down. That's dry, other than what I spilled everywhere. I think down there is about the same, just more of what I spilled. So I'm gonna do this a few more times. Right now I'm gonna let it cool down again, get it completely cold again, then I'll start it back up again. I'll run it for a little bit longer. This might not be a Subaru thing. I've seen it when people revive like old Ford, Chevy vehicles, where they just say you shouldn't take it all the way fully warmed up in one go. Just turn it on, let it get a little bit close to warm, let it cool down. Gradually get all these seals and gaskets to temperature again. That might not be a Subaru thing, but I'm just going to be a little cautious with this. All right, I figured we start keeping track of some things here. So keep track of our broken bolts over here. So far, that's 2, Roman numeral 2. And then things we need to do or buy. First thing, test the cooling, of course. All right, this isn't in no particular order. And for an overview, I am no mechanic. I am a YouTube mechanic. I will watch stuff online and monkey see, monkey do. So you're going to see me fail. You might see me do things wrong. You will see me do things wrong. Occasionally you'll see me do things right. But this is just going to be an overall list of, as we go along, what do we need to do to get this thing top notch again. So we're going to test the cooling first, and then at some point refresh the interior. It doesn't need much, just a vacuum, maybe a steam clean. And then I do want to redo the brakes, all new rotors, pads, might need new calipers, we'll have to see. Definitely replace the brake lines while we're in there. After that, install the tires on these I think they're WRX, newer WRX wheels. And then there's things like wash the outside and do the rust repair, replace a fender, paint. Maybe we won't even replace fenders, we'll see. We've just finished our first cycle. I'm gonna turn it back on and let you listen and look as it starts up. As more crusty falls off. All right, let's see what happens. Looking up front, we're still gurgling from the reservoir, the coolant reservoir. There is no coolant on the cardboard yet. Let's see how it's looking back here with y'all. A little smoke, not much. Fans have not kicked on. And we are almost at temperature. Those fans should have come on by now. Yeah, I haven't seen those kick on at all. And I definitely haven't seen the big gloom as you would hear when the thermostat opens. Right now though, no bubbles at all. So we were almost at temperature. I didn't want to run it all the way up to there. I'm going to let it cool back down again, completely to cold. Probably not going to come back out here till tomorrow at this point. Get it completely cold again. Might need to look at that thermostat, or I need to check wiring on why the fans wouldn't turn on. If there's anything digitally, why they wouldn't come on. And also there is a light smell of, check this out. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little bit of steam rising from here, like potentially water pump maybe, or maybe it's coming out of the weeping hole, I mean. There's a little bit of steam coming up here, and it smells like coolant coming from down here in the center. So that's interesting to note. It's just from this area right here. Haven't been able to pinpoint it. There's no drips. Nothing's dripping. It smells like coolant. There's some coolant dripping right here. This is hot. This top hose is hot. Radiator really hot. Those fans definitely need to be running, and they're not. They don't look like they're chewed through. Have to check out the fuse for that, trace the wiring back for that, and see what is the sequence of events that has to happen for this to turn on. There's definitely a smell of coolant coming from down in this area. And I know the water pump's right there too. I don't know. We'll come back tomorrow, let this cool down. See you then. And welcome back. It's been about a week. I've been coming out here every couple of days, every 1 or 2 days, turning it on, letting it warm up, letting it cool back down again, just cycling it. I have noticed that the coolant temperature, the gauge inside, it's not reading right. It's acting a little weird. So I did get a coolant temperature sensor. It's like $10, maybe $10. Probably not. Got that. I might throw that in today, but maybe not. From what I have seen, the coolant level isn't really dropping when it's on, or even when it's off. It's not. It's been sitting at this level all week. What we have seen, or what I have seen, is there is a coolant leak coming from this corner of the car. And looking a little closer, it looks like coolant is coming out of the weeping hole on the water pump. I'm gonna preface again that I'm not a mechanic, YouTube mechanic. I ask friends, I do research on Naziok, other Subaru sites to try and diagnose it, but you're just along for the ride. I'm just figuring this out as I go. I'm not gonna do anything about it today though, but looks like the weeping hole on the water pump is leaking. So next step, I believe, is going to be to take out the radiator, take out all these hoses, and I'm going to do a water pump swap. And then along with that, I'm going to do I think it's called the ASIN timing belt kit. You can do the timing belt, all the pulleys, and the water pump all at the same time. And then we'll see from there. Other things I've seen as I've been looking around, there's an oil line here that runs through the oil catch can. That's kind of rusting here and there, so that needs to be replaced as well. Of course, headlights need to be replaced. I'm thinking immediate things. There's also I think it's an oil or a coolant line down there that runs right under the radiator. That's also pretty rusted. It looks like it's on its last leg, so I might replace that as well. I see like 2 vacuum lines back here on the throttle body, one up top and one down below. Those aren't connected to anything. I got to figure out what those are and either cap them off or do something with that. And then last major thing, well, after the engine runs, and the last major thing is to do the brakes and the brake lines, because I put my foot on the brakes and right to the floor. I must have blew a line out. So that'll be another one of the higher priority projects after it's running. But next, I'm going to get the timing belt, the kit, and do all of that at the same time. But that'll require taking a lot of this front section off because I want to do it without taking the engine out. So, but that'll be in month or so because timing belt kits are fairly expensive and this is a free channel, so we kind of got to wait for enough side money to be saved up to do this. So that'll be in a few months. Next project will definitely be getting back on the van again, getting those rear brakes that I have bought like 2 months ago. Those need to get put on, and then I need to cut the exhaust off of that. So that'll be next. This is going back out in the yard, but it works, it runs, I can move it, I just can't stop it. And I can't leave it running for long. We'll get back on this in a few weeks, do some timing belt stuff. My first time doing a timing belt, so that'll be fun. How many bolts will I break in areas that shouldn't break? Yeah, anyways, if you like this kind of content, if you like following the rebuild of this car by a complete idiot who doesn't know what he's doing, definitely consider subscribing. Drop a thumbs up if you like this video. If you have any comments, suggestions, questions about this at all, definitely let me know. That's why I'm going to do this video, wait a bit, see if I get any better comments and ideas before I go doing anything. I'm going to do a lot more research before I just jump in and replace a timing belt. Well, I'll see you next time. Peace.